Good morning, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey.
And I'm Crystal Albers. It's Thursday, January 11th.
And you're watching Torrington Today.
Well, in yesterday's paper, you can read all about, there's going to be Alzheimer memory screenings. I guess they're not just for Alzheimer's. It can be any memory issue you're having. It can be from a vitamin deficiency or a thyroid issue. But at the senior center next week, they're going to have free memory screenings just to check if there is an issue. And if it is something more serious like Alzheimer's, you can get an early diagnosis, and that can help slow it down. So either way, it's good to go get your memory screened.
It can't hurt.
Yes, and I spoke to Bill Marsh last week. His wife passed away a couple of years ago after a battle with Alzheimer's, so he's really been championing the cause in Goshen County. So check out that story. In tomorrow's paper, you can read all about 307 Sports Bar and Grill is opening Monday. So that was about a 2-week closure for
that was a quick turnaround.
Yes, for former Spirits Bar and Grill. And it's going to be under the management or ownership of Julie Harshberger and her brother and his wife and her husband. So they're really hopeful. They're bringing a lot of good stuff back, and I guess go support them if you can.
As far as sports go, we're back into the sports season hot and heavy. This past weekend was kind of the first big weekend of the new year. Basically every Goshen County sports team was in action, so be sure to check online for any and all Goshen County sports coverage. Start there because the space can't fit everything in the paper. Sure. So check online if you don't see them in the paper. As far as top stories from this past weekend, the Torrington Lady Blazers were on the road last Friday against Newcastle, and a buzzer beater in overtime by Adia Sherbein gave the Lady Blazers the win. So that's a pretty big notch in the belt. A conference opening win on a buzzer beater in overtime. Can't make that stuff up.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat that for
That's
Adia.
true. As far as other sports go, the Lady Doggers defended their home floor twice last weekend, beating Crawford on Friday and Guernsey Sunrise on Saturday. The EWC women went to overtime on Friday, and that was at home, and theirs was not as dramatic as Torrington's. They lost in overtime, not on a buzzer beater. So you can read about basically everything that went on last weekend and went in yesterday's paper. In tomorrow's paper, you can read about Torrington wrestling. They were in action on Tuesday down against Cheyenne Central. They were edged, but there was quite a few Blazers that picked up some wins. So against a 4A school, that's nothing to shake your head about. You can also read about Crockett Herring, Southeast boys basketball coach, and Steve Zimmerman, Lingle, Fort Laramie's boys basketball coach. Steve coached Crockett in Crockett's senior year at Southeast back in 1989. So it's kind of a rivalry with a little extra to it since it's a county rivalry, and there's a long history between those two coaches. So it's not the first time that they'll be coaching against each other. Crockett's been at Southeast this is his 5th year, second as a head coach, but took a dive into that relationship there. So you can read about that in Friday's paper.
All right. Well, in upcoming events, there's not a lot scheduled for this weekend so far, but coming up later this month, we have Sagebrush and Roses and a couple other big events that, I guess that the memory screenings are next Thursday from 9 to noon at the Senior Center, and those are going to be, you're supposed to call and kind of make an appointment. I think you can walk in, but don't take my word for that. So you might just call the Senior Center and schedule your appointment. It takes about 15 minutes, so might as well see how you're doing.
As far as sporting events go this weekend, there's quite a lot happening in Goshen County, actually. Tonight, Torrington is playing Mitchell for both boys and girls basketball. Tomorrow, not a lot happening tomorrow night in town. Lingle Fort Laramie is heading up to Lusk for girls and boys basketball. As far as this weekend goes, you can make a full day out of Goshen County sporting events. Torrington is hosting the Blazer Duels, which start at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and basically a full day of wrestling. And once you've got your wrestling fix, you can head to EWC for Lingle Fort Laramie versus Southeast. The girls start at 6 and the boys start at 7:30. So, like I said, quite a lot of things happening in Goshen County this week, and kind of keep your weekend full with Goshen County sports. As far as weather goes, I think we're going to be above freezing for the next couple days, so
Yay.
hopefully this snow will be completely behind us, and
Yeah.
I guess we'll be ready for the next batch whenever it rolls in. But today's high is 35, and tomorrow we're down to 34, so we're flirting with freezing, but then on Saturday we're up to 38 degrees, so we're making improvements.
Yeah. Not too bad.
It's a work in progress.
It's better than below 0.
That's true. And we are in January, so I
Yes.
guess we can't really complain with above freezing
Just
in January.
a few
so.
more months till spring.
Well, there you have it, Torrington. I'm Eric Starkey,
And I'm Crystal Albers.
and you've been watching Torrington Today.